This is a T-post, fast horses, real life, and oversharing like it's our job. That's Jessie.
And that's Peyton. Grab a drink and maybe a helmet. It's gonna get bumpy.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop in here real quick and let you know that I'm going to be jumping in just like this, how you're hearing me and seeing me now, periodically throughout this episode, for the sake of adding in information that I missed due to technical difficulties, then having to re-record this episode a second time and having a massive brain fart, or because I got new information that I just feel like is pertinent to the episode. So I wanted to let you know that that's what I'm going to be doing. So if you see me alone by myself without Jessie, that's why. Um, Being that we live over an hour apart, it's kind of hard to just sit and like re-record an entire episode. We just don't exactly have a lot of time for that with our schedule. So yeah.
This episode's going to be me interviewing Peyton on her horse history because we went over a little bit. Wow, see, you guys are really just gonna have to hang tight with me here because I can't talk. Like my brain is just ping pong balls in there. But I figured you kind of know where we're at right now based off of our introductory podcast, like episode 1. And I thought it would be good to know kind of like how we got into horses. Neither of us started off with horsey family per se.
No.
Like we weren't born into someone that even has horses or even farming or like rodeo or
Right.
anything like that. So just getting our background on that and like what brought us to where we had kind of where we are now, which is what we kind of updated you guys with on the last podcast. So this is probably going to be 2 parts because we be yapping. And so we're going to start off with me just kind of getting to know Peyton because I'm not sure which video we're going to use, but my camera did die recording. So I don't know how much we got of it initially as she was going through her horse history here. So now I kind of know it, but in the other one I was learning fresh along with you guys. So, and there might be stuff too that you left out the first time, but so yeah, I guess just start with how you what struck you with the horse thing. How did you get into it? When did that start? Situation.
But yeah, so my great grandpa had horses. He had Belgians, and I'm not sure entirely like what he all used them for, if he did driving or whatnot. But then my grandma would tell me a story about how she had gotten dashboarded off of a barn sour horse. So she had some experience with horses too, growing
Dashboarded
up
into the hay,
into the hay
like a
pile.
movie scene.
Um, so that's pretty much all the stories that I really got from her. But then when I was younger, I always wanted to do lessons, and my mom had a friend that she worked with who had horses, and she had this stud horse that I was told not to be around him, but apparently I didn't know which one had the balls. So
It's not like you were looking up underneath them.
no. So I would lay next to the fence, right in front of the fence, not in the pasture, but outside, and feed him dandelions.
So it actually turns out that after talking to my mom about this a situation when I was a kid, she said that her and I both were out by the pasture feeding the stud dandelions while she was with me while I was doing this. And so we both got yelled at. It wasn't just me. I assume she would have explicitly told my mom to keep me away from the stud, but I don't know if she knew which one that was or what. Don't really know, but it was a long time ago, so we aren't going to dwell on the horsemanship aspects of that.
But I did a couple lessons with her, I think, on a mare that she had. But
I rode a big sorrel gelding named Chance. He was like at least 16 hands. So he was taller than my mom, like at the wither, so he was a big boy.
I do have a question here though that I didn't ask you before.
mm-hmm.
Was it Western?
Yeah, it was Western.
Okay.
It was always Western.
Okay.
But yeah, so always wanted to, and then I got into gymnastics and I did that for 8 years, so the horse bug was kinda, like, pushed off to the side with that because I did that competitively. But then when I was about 16, 17, I was on the old Facebook looking into
The Facebook
horses.
machine.
Mhm. Looking at this, Facebook page for a like, somewhat local horse rescue. It's one of the scammy,
Mhm.
like,
Rescue
oh,
scams.
yeah. So,
That'll get us all at some
yeah, I
point, it
didn't
does.
get one from there. I did
At
not.
least it's not the 52 thoroughbreds.
Yeah, right? So I didn't get one directly from this, rescue pen, but I ended up connecting with a woman who did get one from this rescue pen, and she was gonna give them to me on a free lease, essentially, if I didn't want him anymore, that he was to go back to her, which ironically, I don't think she took him back. I don't know what she ended up doing with him, if he went to live on somebody's open, like,
Yeah.
however many acres or what they did with him. But yeah, so I wound up with this blind Percheron gelding who wound up kicking me in the thigh. I had a hoof print on my thigh.
My friend Susan had that happen with a horse once, kicked her right in the thigh and had a
Cow
hoof
kicked
print.
me. He
Yep.
didn't even kick me straight back. It was to the side. I came up to
Mhm.
him to brush him, and I just obviously wasn't
He was
thinking to like
blind,
talk
and
to
so he
him
got scared,
first.
yeah.
Yep. So I ended up messaging her back and saying, I can't. It's too much.
Yeah, this
Couldn't
isn't
deal
gonna
with it.
work.
I was a dumb 16, 17-year old. So she ended up coming with a trailer, couldn't get him on the trailer. I wasn't gonna get on the trailer. I stood back and watched as we had like round pen panels set up to make a chute to chase him into the trailer. And the barn owner of the
Some
barn,
cowboy chic.
yeah, some real ranchy shit. Um, I think he wound up in the front of the trailer while like there was like one border, and then I think it was maybe Slick. I think Slick was there, but they chased him into the trailer, and then the barn owner had to jump out of that side door to get out of the way. And then after that, I didn't have a horse, and um, the barn owner's daughter had actually messaged me and offered for me to buy this little bay roan mare. Her name was CJ. So I ended up making payments on her. She was a little dead broke, but hard in the mouth, but she was dead broke and she was sound insane. And that's exactly what I needed to start with. But apparently, the one of the other adults in the situation didn't really think that and offered me this blind horse. But anyways, thankfully, I wound up with her. I had her for, I want to say it was close to 2 years before she got to the point with her heaves and not holding weight because she was skinny when I got her. So I'd put a bunch of weight on her, but then she got to the point where she just wasn't holding weight anymore. She wasn't breathing well. And I didn't really have the means to take care of that. And it might sound bad, but I was also a teenager. So,
You knew you didn't want
yeah,
her to suffer, and you didn't think that there was anything you could do that was reasonable
right.
that would have had her had a good quality of life, and I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of, you
Yeah.
know?
So, better too soon than too late.
All right, so while I still had CJ, I ended up, for my graduation present to myself, ended up using my graduation money from like my mom and my other family members towards another big sorrel mare. Her name was Mia. I named her Mia. She didn't have a name when I got her. I got her from somewhere like well north where I live, and she was a doll on the ground, absolute doll, sweet, sane, sound. So I thought, didn't know exactly how much work had been put into her. I didn't get a whole lot of background information from the woman that I bought her from. So didn't really know, but she had clearly had groundwork done. She knew everything when it came to lunging. So I ended up saddling her. She saddled fine, and she ended up riding off at a walk just fine. The first time that I tried to trot her, instant blow up, like rear. She didn't buck. She would rear and she would dash forward. So that was her thing. Um, I had a couple other people try and lope on her. They did fine. She ended up being able to trot and lope just fine, but it was like every once in a while she would just blow up. So she could have had something underlying that I didn't know about, and I was young and I was dumb, as we established. So who knows? She was getting real big, real chunky. Ended up having the vet come out. She palpated her and found that she wasn't full. So July of that year, she ended up foaling, and the foal wasn't quite right. She wasn't premature. The vet later described it as her just being underdeveloped, basically, but they didn't think premature. And Mia also had no milk in her bag. She had absolutely nothing. It was just swelling. So unfortunately, the foal ended up having to be put down. She wasn't going to make it. She had a really high white blood cell count, high or low, either way. She was sick. Um, and there wasn't really like a whole lot that we could do for her. So that's how that ended up going. And then I ended up selling Mia shortly after that because I just couldn't handle a horse that blew up the way that she did.
And then I ended up with a bay paint gelding. I had him for a little while. He was like a mutt. I don't know what he was breed wise. He wasn't a quarter horse. He may have been
Maybe partial
part,
or something, yeah.
but
A mutt.
he was just
I've had a few mutts in my days.
Yeah, he was just gangly though, and you know, considering the fact that I was boarding at a barn where everybody primarily barrel raced, I wanted to barrel race. So I
Right.
tried it with him. Like he hated it, and he was just an absolute noodle. I could not stiffen him up. Like he would
Not even al dente.
Yeah, not at all. And he would duck the first barrel, so I would literally like have to trot him to the first, and then we could lope the rest. But he just had
Wasn't his thing.
Yeah, not his thing at all, and he hated it. And
but
then
he was pretty good horse besides.
Oh
trail
yeah,
racing.
he was a
good
good
for you
horse.
to learn on, probably.
Yeah, and I could trail ride with him, and I would breeze him. I would breeze this sucker, and he was pretty fast.
Yeah.
And yeah, for being a gangly
probably
guy.
what you needed at the time.
And I ended up moving boarding facilities at this time because of my ex, and so it was further north. But she had all these beautiful trails all around. It was like farmland, kind of like this, but there was just trails everywhere. And then I had the perfect field to breeze on. I wouldn't do it with that one because I was scared. She was really fast. But yeah, so once it got to the point where it's like, okay, I can't.
Oh, so this is when you had him you were living with your ex?
Yep.
So okay, that makes sense.
We started off.
You said because of my ex. I'm like, why couldn't you board there anymore? Like I thought there was something wrong, but you moved in.
With him, and we moved up there.
Yep. Okay, I'm following now.
Yep. So when I first bought him, I had him at the previous barn that you and I were both at, but then I ended up moving up there before I ended up moving back.
Which I don't even know if I mentioned that before. We knew of each other.
Right.
I think maybe you knew of me more than I knew of you. I think we were Facebook friends, but that was when I think I was winning a lot on Dyna, or like I was up there. I was competitive, so people were seeing me more because I was like really trying to do the thing, I guess. And then I ended up boarding at the same facility when she was there at the same time, and so we became friends through that facility. We knew of each other.
Yep. So then I ended up coming back to the facility after we broke up, but while we were at this,
don't ever tell a girl things. Don't basically make them choose between you or her horses, because she's not going to choose
She's going to choose a horse every time.
Been there, done that.
But yeah, so before I had actually come back to the facility that I had met at, I ended up selling him while I was up north because he just wasn't going to be a barrel horse.
Yeah, not what you were looking for.
Which he was a great trail horse. Ended up going to a family that I think they do, I don't know if it was like showing in like trail classes. I don't remember what it was.
Something more ideal for him. Yeah.
Something slower for him. And then I had a friend named Kayla who was selling a paint horse that she had. And the girl that she ended up selling him to was in North Dakota, and she had this bay roan mare that she was also looking to sell. She was buying this paint, looking to sell this bay roan mare. Insert picture of Psycho Bay Roan. And
getting a fit because she's running out of hay. Like she hasn't been fed 5 million times already today.
Literally. So we ended up doing a bit of a swap with this girl out in North Dakota.
Yeah.
And then I just ended up making payments to Kayla.
Yeah.
For Maisie.
The difference of what the two horses would have been.
Yep. So then I brought her back home and started riding her. She had somewhat been patterned already, and we ended up being able to make some runs. Though at a Friday night fun show, we actually won it. There was like maybe 20 to 30 other people that ran.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she freaking won the dang thing. It was only like 30 people, but it was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that was when I like
You're like, this horse has what I'm looking for.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's when I knew. So over the years, I've made like a few runs on her, and then last year is when I ran her the most. But she ended up having some lameness issues by the end of the year, so I ended up taking her to like 4 or 5 different vets for the lameness, and I think we went over this
We
in
went
the
over
first
that in the first
episode.
podcast, but that kind of brings you up. You know, you
Brings
got,
me up to the point where I'm at now, where I'm in the midst of rehabbing her and fixing her feet and
and
everything.
then Reba, since she, I mean, we went over that too.
Yep.
Reba is gonna just be making a baby and be a
Yeah.
pasture puff.
Yeah, and she's a really great hauling buddy for
Yeah.
Maisie, and she's just really good to
Nice
have
to have
around.
around. Yeah, she's like a
Yeah,
dog.
she
really.
really is.
So that's kind of where
Yeah.
you're at now. I had some questions I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
but both of our brains are at the end of their ropes here. So, um, was there something specific that made you like drew you to horses? Because like you and I weren't raised in a horsey family, so
Yeah.
besides your grandma and her stories, was there something that you saw one day and you, or maybe it was your grandma's stories, where you're like, I need to try this, like I love horses and I need to get around them? Was there ever do you have a memory
I
of
don't
anything?
know if there was ever like a specific moment. And actually, now I just remembered something else.
Okay.
On my dad's side of the family, my great grandma had a farm not that far from my parents' house.
Yeah.
And I had this memory. Somebody had their horse there for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I wanted to go ride this horse
Mhm.
and just like pony rides or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I could be totally wrong, but I think this horse could rear on cue.
Okay.
And I was little, like maybe 5 years old.
Yeah. And you
Somewhere
were
between the
rearing
ages of
cue on
like
this
3 to
horse?
5, and they put me on this horse and cued this horse to rear.
That's a little insane, but yeah.
Insane. And
You
I
were
fell
probably-
off.
Oh, you
Yep.
fell off? I was
Yeah.
thinking you held that and you were like, hell yeah, I'm a badass.
Nope, I fell off and I was crying, and but that didn't like deter me.
When you decided to get into the horses, how did your parents feel about it? Like, were they like, oh yeah, you should definitely do this? Or
My dad was always the kind of guy to like whatever I wanted to do, he was like fully supportive,
that's
and he just
amazing.
wanted
Yeah.
to see me do
Mhm.
well. And my mom loves horses too, so
Oh,
it
perfect.
wasn't ever anything that she was
Yeah.
against. It was like we just couldn't
Because
afford it.
sometimes your parents are like, even people who come from like horsey or farm families,
Mhm.
they're like, you're not, it's a
Yeah.
waste of your money, you know? So I was just a little bit curious about that.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you might have kind of maybe already answered this question, but what was the dumbest thing you've ever done on a horse and somehow lived to tell the tale?
On a horse? Not necessarily on a horse.
Or even with a horse, like general.
Getting the blind percher on
Yeah.
gelding,
That is-
probably.
yeah.
Otherwise, like the dumbest thing that I've done on a horse, I guess. There was one time, another boarder and I, at that same bar that I met you at,
Mhm.
we were not even loping, running, like high loping, I guess at best for a CJ, bareback in the back pasture before it was all fenced off.
Mhm.
And that is when I was trying to get this dang horse to stay on the outside, like
Yeah, and she didn't want to.
no, and she kept trying to cut in, and so I was fighting with her a little bit, and then she went one way, and I
you
went the other way, and
A
I
little zig and zag
fell off.
action.
Yep. I was like, I'm gonna protect my head, and I landed on my shoulder, and that is when no, it was my left shoulder, and that's when I broke my arm,
I was gonna say, I have a like vague
The
memory of you
humerus.
being like
Yep.
hurt.
like right below the joint. I'm like touching my mic here, right below the joint,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually like for the longest time would have like numbness if I like stretched my
Because you've
shoulder out.
messed your nerves up so
Yeah,
much.
It was almost to the point where they wanted to do surgery, but it was healing straight enough that they're like, no,
Yeah.
you'll be able to get away with not doing surgery. So thank God. But yeah, so
I feel like we all have some like wild horsey stories.
yeah,
of,
and the
like,
most dead broke horse too.
Yeah.
Because
like,
we were
crazy
being
stuff.
stupid.
Was there ever a time you wanted to quit horses for good? And what like state kept you here? Like kept you going?
Okay. So there was a point where I wanted to take a break, and that was actually, I think it was in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I had just had Maisie, and she can be a lot on the ground. She can be a lot. She's better now. She was
As Lexi would quote, a bully at times.
yes. Um,
It's her way or the highway.
yeah, and I think there's just other things going on in my life at that point that I think I was starting school. Yeah, I was starting school, so I was like, I'm at the point where I'm just
It's too much.
it's too much.
Yeah.
So I tried to sell her, and I had consigned with another girl that we know. Ended up finding somebody who wanted to buy her. She went to their house for maybe a day or two,
Mhm.
and then I get a message that, oh, this horse is lame.
What?
He sold me a lame horse. I was like, what? Limping in the front end. So I was like, well, I'll take her back, and they wanted a refund and everything, which I'm like, I have no problem with. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take her back, and get her vetted and everything,
Well,
and see
they
what's
it's
going
not like
on.
they had her for so long, they, like, completely ruined any training you did have on her, you
No,
know?
not at all. It was literally maybe like a day or
Was it
two.
just an abscess or something?
She had ended up with like what we presume was a soft tissue injury
Mhm.
in her elbow
Okay.
on the left front.
I feel like that was a fluke thing so that you were
It was,
supposed to keep her.
yeah.
Like a
God said,
thing.
absolutely not. She's coming back here.
Sit your ass back down. I
Yep.
said nope.
Yep. So now she's staying with me forever because I took that as a
Wow.
sign
She
from
just
God.
chugged a bunch of water. This exact horse we're talking about literally just chugged a bunch of water, goes to her hay and drops it. She sloshed it in there.
Did she really?
Yes.
That explains a lot.
Soaking her own hay.
That explains a lot.
What a silly girl.
She is. But yeah, so I tried to get out of horses for a little bit, and I tried to sell this particular horse. That's a B. And nah, I just took it as a sign that I'm supposed to have her, and I'm not supposed to get out of horses. And now I have horses at home. So
It's nice when they're home.
a lot better when they're home because
Yeah.
finances were a part of it.
Finances. I mean, it can be hard if they're at home too because like if they get out or anything like that. But also, like the stress is less in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, but it's less, and
Yeah.
it's really therapeutic to be around them.
It's few and far between for me personally because it's like,
I mean,
if anything, it's when I'm
with
sick.
winter, but
Yeah, it's if anything, it's like when I'm sick, it's hard coming out when you have a fever, like
oh,
103,
yeah, when you're not feeling good and the
and
weather's not cooperating
yeah,
either.
or like when we want to go on vacation for like a week or whatever. But I've been lucky enough to like have somebody close enough by to come take care of my horses.
Yeah.
So
Was there ever a horse that you sold that you regret selling?
no, I think I've like had regrets with putting CJ down, but that I feel like that's just naturally a part of grieving.
Yeah, I get that.
So
I get that
think
completely.
yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, no, I don't regret selling any of them.
Which horse do you think shaped you the most so far?
Maisie.
Maisie. I was gonna say that
Yeah.
too, just based off of your story,
Yeah.
which makes sense. This one might make you a little emo because it makes me a little emo.
Okay.
There's a couple. What do you think that your 10-year-old self would say if she saw you now?
Oh my gosh, she would be so stoked.
Mm-hmm.
So stoked.
In the middle of my Mentee bee the other day, I was like,
yeah,
girl, you need to just...
younger me would be so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like she would be like, what? Horses?
That's
what?
actually happening? You
Yeah.
get them at home?
Yeah.
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 Insane.
I don't even know
and
what she would say.
Barrel race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I even knew what barrel racing was when I was 10.
You go fast on horses? And you
The
can't
adrenaline, I might be a little bit of an adrenaline junkie from gymnastics to
I think
barrel
you
racing.
are. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's my thing too. Which is really quite the combination when you have a lot of anxiety, but here we are.
Isn't it crazy? But yeah, and then like with her being off from work and being like strictly groundwork, I'm like, I need to go fast. I'll just take the 4-wheeler for a rip because
I know the other day we were on the phone, you're like,
face.
I need to go rip on the 4-wheeler.
Yep, as close as I could get right now.
If you could go back and tell your younger like horsey self something, what would it be? It could be anything. It could be like, don't do this, do this. I learned this. This will help you, or like inspirational, even like literally anything.
To not like harp back on like the blind percheron, other than telling myself not to do that, which
get a different one, maybe.
Yeah, but I think because I wound up with CJ that way, it was meant to happen.
You also don't want to change it, yeah.
Yeah. So I think if anything,
X-ray your
Oh my
horse's
god.
feet sooner?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. X-ray the hooves first.
Yeah, before anything else.
X-ray the hooves first.
Even if you just did them, like, 6 months or a year ago, maybe just X-ray
Do it
them
again.
again.
Do it again. Other than that, I think, like, there's things, like, training-wise that I would tell myself,
Yeah,
like
change this or try this
even
differently.
just the little things that I've been taught about, like, shaping them up
Mhm.
going into the barrel and not
And you're not supposed to pull them around. I mean, you can do
right.
whatever you want, really, the clock shuts off on how it's supposed to, but yeah.
It would have saved us a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
So much frustration. There were times I got just, like, way too frustrated with her, and it was my fault entirely.
Been there, done that.
Yep.
Been there, done that. There's 2 more questions I have for you. First, what is your current riding goal or, like, dream regarding, like, horses specifically
I've always wanted to win a buckle on that one.
on
I don't
Missy?
yeah, I don't care, like, if it's just from, like, one race series or
A single day or yeah.
yeah, I don't care, I just wanted to, like, win a buckle on her because, like, at this point, like, that's my heart horse, I feel like,
I
between her and
I
CJ.
figured she was, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
because
one
like,
of
she's taught me a lot, and I thought CJ taught me a lot, but, like, then I got this one, I'm like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, you guys have a very special bond, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else could handle this freaking horse.
That's how I feel about Chewy. And she
Yeah.
was in right before I got her. I mean, she was not that she was in bad hands. I just think she needed me, and I needed
Yeah.
her at the time too.
Yeah.
Um, what was the other one? Oh my gosh, where was it? Where was it? Okay, this one's kind of fun.
Okay.
If you could ride or own any horse from history, famous or not, who would it be and why? Could be current too. I mean, you could think anything from Sister to like Scamper.
I was literally gonna say Scamper, I think,
Yeah,
because Scamper gives me, like, her
Ba-
vibes, like,
badass.
how, like granted, he had his one person,
But
so
so
it's
does
like
she.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it's like yeah, he's pretty cool.
yeah,
So I was thinking, like, Scamper.
yeah.
Because I actually just saw a video of Charmaine talking about him.
Bridleless run.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Did I ever
Those are
tell you
different
that happened? Something similar happened to me with Dying on It. Was one of
Oh,
our
yeah.
fastest runs at Chisholm's. Yeah,
I think you told me about that, yeah.
came on. I had quick change, and it
Yeah.
came undone at the first, but she didn't spit the bit out the entire run, but the cheek piece was flapping her. Luckily,
Flapping her
it was on the left side, so I already had turned the left. So as long
Yeah.
as she kept the bit in her mouth,
Mhm.
and she kind of turned on her own. And in that pen, if I would have been in an outdoor, I would not have hustled
When
her
they
on, but
open
I
up more?
knew, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that thing had too many wheels. She would have ran into that freaking fence the way she would. Just a little bit, that thing would roll.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I know I already asked this, but I kind of want to get into this more. And I'm not trying to offend you when I say this, so please don't take it the
Oh,
wrong
you're
way. I don't
good.
think you will.
No.
I don't think that's your only goal.
No.
Horse goal. I think that's like your next one. That's
My
what
next
your
one,
whole,
yeah.
that's like the next thing off the checklist, and I think that's a
Yeah.
fabulous goal to have, and I think it's plenty attainable.
Yeah.
But what is like, and maybe you're like, maybe you don't even know, but like what, I mean, your dream, not even something that you think maybe can happen, which I think it can, but
Mhm.
like, what is it, like, your dream for your horses? Like, do you even like really know? Do you want a rodeo? Do you want to just like see where it takes you? Or
So, part of, like I think more in short-term goals because, like I don't know, I just can't, like, conceptualize that far, but
that's so why God put us together, one of
yeah.
the reasons, because I'm very like long term, and then I get really caught up in the short term. I get frustrated.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, short term.
Yeah.
Even each other
So,
out there.
yeah, I think, like how you said, kinda just test the
I could
waters.
plan out my whole entire life right now. That's not how it's gonna go, but I could do it.
Yeah. That's the thing is I don't wanna lead myself to disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm at the point where I just kinda wanna, like, test the waters, and I wanna see how she does when it's time for her to
Yeah.
come back. Because now knowing, like, this is something that we can work on and fix and
Yeah.
keep her more comfortable, I'm like, "Okay, maybe we could do more."
I think you can.
One of the things that Lexi asked me is she was like, "When are you gonna take this thing to some amateur rodeos?" And I'm like,
I've been telling you that, girl.
"When I feel like she's not gonna kill me because she
No.
gets spooked."
Yeah.
That's
No,
the
you
one
need
thing.
you need to feel, you don't need to be winning the 1D, but you need to feel confident at some barrel races
Yeah.
when you get back going, and then I mean that's absolutely in the cards. I think it's
Yeah.
I think
And it might
that
not be
she's,
her that I end up rodeoing with long term. I think we'll get to a point where we could do a couple, but, to see
you also have a baby that's gonna be on the ground
Yeah.
sooner than you know it, but
yeah, it's gonna be the the way that time has been flying by, yeah, it's gonna be.
And even if you don't have anything in between there, like there's gonna be a point where I'm really trying to focus on Hottie, and Chewy's gonna need to get ran too. So
I kind of figured that's where we
and
wind up
honestly,
getting
she's
to.
gonna be really easy to jump right. Like she's so push style.
She's gonna be like her.
I think that she's gonna be very similar style. But honestly, I feel like that horse could rodeo.
Yeah.
I haven't like seen enough of her. I mean, to know like if she's gonna like win one. I don't know if Chewy's gonna necessarily like win
Right.
them, but I think that they're competitive enough to pull checks
Yeah.
around here at the very least.
She's fucking fast.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like it's there. For
Yeah.
sure.
And once she's feeling better, to actually feel those gears again.
And to like
Man.
actually have the horse moving the same way around the barrel from the front end to hind end, instead
Yeah,
of having her
not
like
feeling like I'm riding two different
Yeah,
horses.
'cause
That's when
she's-
I really noticed. I'm like, I can't sit this fucking horse. I
know
cannot sit
you
on
sent
her
me
at
the
all.
videos from state finals, and like I watched one live.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was at Denny's when I was doing that, so I had to like pull it up
Yeah.
on my phone, and I remember being like, I think like you guys are like there, but she just doesn't know how to use her hind end. But I hadn't seen her run before,
Yeah.
so you were like, no, like she knows how to use her hind end, and in my head I'm like, no, she doesn't, based off of your
Yeah.
video. But
No,
it
she
makes
does.
sense now.
She couldn't.
She couldn't.
Yeah.
So that was my other thought, is like, okay, if she does know how to use her hind end, then is there a pain thing going on that we don't know about? Because
Yeah,
just based off of this one video.
I remember sending you videos and being like, is it just me or does she look like she's in pain?
Yeah. And I just thought maybe because I hadn't known her, I was like, I just
Yeah.
don't think she knows how to use her hind end, because like she's like looks like a kid slipping around like Bambi on the ice.
Yeah. It was very much like rocking horse,
But
like front end, hind end, front end.
so
And it was
uncomfortable.
yeah, and it was fronts too.
Mhm.
So I mean, not as bad, but
Yeah.
she's knowing that she's thin soled.
It'll be fun to like look back and like compare when she's going again. Like I said, I'm sure it's something we can put on the podcast and like whatever down the road or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It'll be interesting.
I think that you have, and I get not trying to disappoint yourself, but I think you have more potential. And these horses specifically, like obviously she can't necessarily like run, but the potential to give you a really nice baby.
Yeah. I'm
for
really
what you're
excited.
wanting to be even a step up from her. But
Yeah.
I really think that by the time you get her where you're feeling you're maxing her out and you're ready for a step up, this baby's gonna be ready for you to go. I really do. I think it's gonna be like perfect timing. And if that one can't handle the pressure and you really want a rodeo, I'm sure I'm probably gonna have more horses.
Probably.
And I also, I mean, I miss doing the resale project thing too. I used to get one or two horses like in Chewy's situation that people just couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
Didn't have time for whatever. I mean, that's what Dinah was, and we'll get into that when we talk about my story. But I love fixing them and figuring them out and watching their personalities turn around because you figured them out. And I'm not saying anyone abused them; they absolutely didn't. But like, didn't have the time to figure that horse out.
Yeah.
So then I took it, and then watching them go on with other people that are just like in love with those horses because I made them their heart horse. And that might not be my heart horse, but I had so much fun like rehabbing them essentially and like fixing them mentally, physically, getting them more trained and all the things. So who knows, maybe I'll have something down the road that you can hop on or
the
whatever.
opportunities are there. It's just my brain can't fathom it yet. And also I have this issue with self-limiting beliefs. So that's what's so funny, because like I've said the same thing to you where I'm like, oh well, I can see all the possibilities in front of you. Like you just gotta
and I
keep trucking.
I think that's another thing that's like, it's what I was saying with like just things. It's fun watching this friendship like grow. Chills, literal hairs. But like grow with God, because I can see how he like pieced us in a way that we're supposed to like this is what friendship's supposed to be, like biblically. Like I'm not saying you can't have other friends, like this is how it is. We're supposed to like it's almost like your relationship with your partner, right? You complement each other
and you elevate each other.
Yes. And like I think we probably both always wanted that, but we didn't have that person that was. And none of these people were necessarily bad people. They just weren't meant to have that point in our lives. And I think that it's just really interesting to see like how our lives have gone from different directions and come here. We're really kind of in the same spot, but like I'm the one who's like, this is I can literally see. Like I feel like I visually can see all the things that you can do and this horse can do, and like the horses you might have in the future. And then I have a problem with like the now. I get stuck in the now of like, I cannot see parts of my future, but I get stuck in the now, and you're the one like, no, you're actually good, bro.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to see how like he balances that out.
Oh yeah. And we have each other to
talk ourselves down from our
reassure each
SUVs.
other. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Nothing like the Snapchat voice audio.
Oh my
Have
gosh.
you seen the
So
things where it's
many.
like, if ChatGPT ever gets hacked, some of y'all are like gonna be like basically like leaving society because of
Yeah.
the stuff you put on there. I'm never worried about that. I'm worried about
Their voice notes.
and not because we say anything really bad. It's just like literally our mentee.
We sound psychotic.
Honestly, it's us talking about ourselves more than
Yeah.
anything. Like, what the hell is wrong with me?
What the hell are
There's voice notes of us crying.
Oh yeah.
I know it.
You guys don't need to hear that.
I'll literally be like, I don't know why I'm being so emo right now.
We can talk about it after the fact, okay? Which is really ironic considering the topic of our first episode, how we're like, we need to talk about this while it's happening, but it's like, okay, but not the crying, okay? You don't need to hear it.
I don't cry. Just kidding. I cry all the time. I'm a big old whiny baby. But I feel so much better though. Like I used to pent stuff up and I was so angry.
Yeah.
And irritable all the time, and now I realize I catch myself when I'm being irritable. I'm like, oh, it's because I'm not allowing myself to process. And my therapist confirmed that to me in recent. And she's like, yeah, you just need to let it out. And then I'll cry, and I feel dumb for crying. I feel less dumb the more I do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like, because it's weak, people label it as weak. But men, talk about your feelings and cry, damn it.
Oh my gosh.
God,
we could go on and
everyone
on.
would be so much happier.
No kidding.
I'm not saying all men don't, but I just know as a general rule, men specifically are like, and I think it's getting better, but I still think that there's just this stigma of like men can't cry. No, you absolutely should cry because
100%.
you would be so much happier. Your partner would be so much happier. Your family, like, you don't need to be angry. Like, anger is just something else bottled up,
Yeah.
Most people aren't just angry unless, I don't know, maybe you're playing with black magic or some weird things you shouldn't be messing with. I don't know, but yeah, I don't really think I have any other questions for you. I mean, that kind of sums up like your horsey history, and like I think that there's big things to come, and I don't care if anyone else can't see it. I can, so that's all that matters.
I appreciate it. Well,
I think
very
that we
hopeful.
just have to keep pushing, and I think that God placed this. I need to really stop with these chills.
It's not even cold out, and you have goosey.
No, every time I mention like God stuff, he's like, "Yeah, there you go. I'm just confirming it." But I just think that he like. I think it's just fun. I'm hoping people see this too, and they're not gonna grasp like the levels of like how special like this friendship is and like how things have played out because they didn't live our lives. But I hope that they see a glimpse of it, like, and they find that in their own lives, or at least gives them encouragement to like move forward in the thick of it, and
that's exciting.
Yeah, I think I'm just excited. I'm excited to see how things flourish and that this is all getting documented.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
So yeah, thank you for watching, and sorry, I don't know if the video is going to be as good as like the other videos because we did have some camera malfunctions with batteries, but
otherwise you can just listen.
Yeah, you don't have to look at us. But yeah, so if you're listening, again, constructive criticism, if you're going to be an a-hole, just be prepared. Because I will fire back. But I'm sure you are too, open to constructive criticism because we want this to be enjoyable to listen to and for people to learn from it. So if you have tips or anything, like, send them. If you don't want to post them publicly, you can private message. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then rate us, obviously, because we want this to get out to people. And
it's one of the most helpful things. So.
Yeah. Rate, review, share is amazing. We have a TikTok. We're going to post on all the, like, podcast platforms, Spotify.
Yeah, by the time this is out, we'll also have more going on with the social media.
Oh yeah, for sure. Q&As, all the things, and then YouTube and whatever. We forgot to do this in the other pod, the first one, but I wanted to see who listens to the end of the video.
Oh yeah.
And so we're gonna do this every single time to test y'all.
Okay, so but what?
So at the end of each video, we're gonna have to see if you guys listen through on the platforms that you can do it. So like Facebook, or I guess
you can do comments. You can do comments on Spotify.
Yeah, can you just comment on Spotify? I didn't know that.
So like Spotify or YouTube, any of the platforms that we post on that you can comment.
We're going to do an emoji each time, but it's going to change, and we're going to probably make it themed to that specific podcast. So, what do we want today's emoji to be? We were talking about horses, so I mean, we could do, oh, you know what it is? It's got to be the cowboy hat.
Yeah,
today, because
yep.
you had, but we're going to call her cowgirl because,
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you listened all the way through, let us know by being cool in the Cool Kids Club and commenting the emoji with a cowboy hat.
Yep.
And then we'll know.
If you listen through.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
Episode 2, part 1, done.